Move out of the fucking way, Zeb Wells. Fucking Jonathan Hickman just knocked on your door, fucking kicked it down, and then fucking poured gasoline all over your fucking Spider-Man memorabilia. Fuck you. Fuck this. That story is going to be awesome. It's really good. I'm excited. Everyone else is excited. No one's going to be picking up fucking ASM anymore. Fuck ASM. Ultimate Spider-Man forever. Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel, back again with Weekly Pulls. We have a special announcement for you guys. The Weekly Pulls series will now be sponsored by Comic Universe.
They are located at 446 McDade Boulevard in Folsom, PA.
These guys have been Delco's source for comics since 1979. Make sure to check them out. They have a extensive back issue collection.
Huge.
Very, very nice back issue collection. They got, clothing, they got toys, they got games, all sorts of great stuff like that. Right now, they're running a sale, $5 trade paperbacks, $10 hardbacks. So it's a pretty amazing bargain. They're trying to move stuff. So go buy some of that stuff while supplies last.
Yeah. We always say to support local comic shops, and this is one of them. So definitely go out there, buy as many stuff as you can. Definitely tackle that sale while you can, because that's really good pricing, honestly. And yeah, we're just happy to be sponsored by them. Can't wait to see what we do in the future.
Yeah, thanks for sponsoring us. Before we get into our weekly pulls this week, make sure to comment down below what you guys are excited to read this week. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe if you like what we're doing here. And yeah, thanks so much for supporting us. Let's get into it.
So, Lies, what is your first pick for this week?
My first pick for this week is going to be Avengers Twilight #1. This is a very promising creative team of Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna. Daniel is an artist that I have been into since I really first started getting into comics consistently in 2012. I love his style. I think he's great with Avengers characters, so I'm really excited to see him back in full force. He was just doing covers for Avengers Inc., but now he's going to be doing interiors for this book. So super excited. Avengers Twilight is going to be a futuristic tale of the Avengers, presenting us with some new, versions, new iterations of classic Avengers characters like Captain America. So I'm very excited to get into this series.
Yeah, apparently Chip Zdarsky has been planning the story since 2019. This has been a short series that he's been wanting to do for a while. And I mean, the fact that it's just Chip and Daniel Acuna and Alex Ross on the cover gives me a lot of hope that this is a very tight and streamlined story. That new Captain America design, at least on the cover, really paints the picture of this is an older Steve that is like what they're saying in the title, they're in their twilight, basically. So I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Lucas, what's your first pick?
My first pick is Nightwing 110. This cover is so fucking stupid in the best, funniest way. Damien, if you didn't know, in Beast World, is it called Beast World? Sorry, in Beast World, just recently got turned into a cat, and pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, but also Super Sons. I will take any crumbs of like Super Sons content, please. Just keep giving me John and Damian interactions. I love their dynamic so much that like the Wonder Woman series right now has been doing like backup stories for them, and I've been loving it so much. So even any interactions for them, just give them a mini or ongoing, please. DC, come on, just do it. What's the harm now at this point? You guys have established that they got back into contact. Damien's older now. They're kind of starting to get like, at least it's not as weird of an age gap now. So, I mean, make them friends again and make them have a series.
Yes.
What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Fantastic Four #16. Last issue was a perfect issue for me, 5 stars out of 5. Fantastic Four issue 14 subverted our expectations, and when the chunk of New York that they had transported into the future was supposed to arrive, it didn't show up. So that was definitely a jaw-dropping moment for me. But issue 15 was an amazing use of Metamind, a really tragic Metamind story. And just really unique dialogue. Metamind speaking through different people walking by was such a great, like, you could hear the different people speaking it in your mind. Really great stuff.
Yeah.
And just an amazing read issue, and it tied into the last issue where they had the app that was controlling people and telling them what to do, and the asshole billionaire who was behind all of it. So really amazing issue. Really loved it. So I'm excited now. The kids are back. So issue 16, we're gonna get some adventures with them and the FF. And yeah, this has been such a consistent series, and I've just been loving it.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the kids now because they've been gone for a year. So I mean, but I did love the kids' reactions to them getting a dog. That was very funny. It's like, I will protect this earth animal with my life. It's like, it was so funny. But yeah, no. Metamind was super interesting. Their death was surprisingly sad. And yeah, no, I'm interested to see if that villain is going to come back eventually, because I think he's definitely a unique character where he doesn't have any powers, and he's smart, but he's definitely not like on the upper echelon to the point where like he's like Reed smart, in my opinion. So like I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen because it's just a man with like genuine power.
The billionaire guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy. What is your next pick, Lucas?
My next pick is Superman number 10. I've actually been really enjoying the Superman book, and since Action Comics ended its Philip Kennedy Johnson run, I'm kind of turning to this to really fill in that hole. This series has been really great, written by Joshua Williamson. And right now we're going to get a version of Superman that is rumbling, tumbling cowboy. So pretty fun. But yeah, his getup on this cover is really sick. And it's basically going to be dealing with Marilyn Moonlight, who is this really cool original character that he's been introducing. Has an awesome design, has been really interesting. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. This series has been very fun, very much like a Saturday morning cartoon where it's like there's a serialized aspect to it, but every issue kind of stands on its own at the same time. And yeah, so far I'm very, very excited to see where this is going to go.
It's really, a perfect, enjoyable format for Superman. And I personally, I was not thrilled with this last Action Comics issue with Jason Aaron. But, that's just me. But yeah, definitely a solid series.
What they're doing in Superman is what they're trying to do in Action Comics, but like keep this as like these one-off stories that have like an overarching arc, but then also have Action Comics, which is just an overarching story, period. But then again, we're not running DC, so we don't get any says in the matter.
But that's just our opinion.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be X-Men number 30. Rise of the Powers of X was very solid.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It seems like it is following the progression of the original the original Powers series, but it has some key changes now that, the X-Men have come this far since the last Powers series. So there were some key changes, but Dominion was still coming to consume the world, which is what was going to happen at the end of the last Powers series. So yeah, there's a lot of huge implications. Enigma is obviously seemingly undefeatable, but now we have X-Men that are hiding in Moira's no place, which is really cool. So yeah, a lot of really exciting setup there, and a lot of secrets and stuff to be unveiled. But this issue is looks like it's featuring the return of the High Evolutionary, which was an early, I think I want to say X-Men Volume 2.
Volume 1 even.
Was it Volume 1?
Yeah, he was in Volume 1 and then he came back in Volume 2.
Yeah, he showed up like really early.
He's like showed up like once per volume, to be honest.
But yeah, Return of High Evolutionary. I'm curious to see what he's doing right now. It looks like we're gonna find out where Sync and Talon went, and it looks like they might have been kidnapped by the High Evolutionary. So yeah, excited to get into this issue.
What did you? I'm curious. I really enjoyed Rise of Power. I thought Sync as the professor was really fun. I thought all the different like 10-year plus versions were really interesting. I actually really liked Kamala Khan as Captain Krakoa. I can't believe I didn't figure that out from the cover.
I thought it was, but I thought it was too obvious. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was just because it looked like her, but I thought that was that's too obvious. So I
I
didn't.
thought she was like glowing too much in like her face, so that's why I didn't think it was her. I do like the fact that like uh Kitty Pryde like got like the fucking death seed. That was pretty wild too.
It was funny because they like page 2 instantly revealed who those characters on the cover were, which I wasn't expecting. You know, like right away they told us, oh, that's what this is. Like these are who these characters are.
Yeah.
And Iron Man was just literally just an AI husk of Tony.
Yeah, and
I
he
was
immediately
expecting someone to be in
dies.
the suit and he just fucking dies.
But I like the
But
reveal at the
yeah,
end where it was just like, oh, yep, this is just another alternate reality, and Professor X is just going through it all. He's just
yeah.
trying to map them all out so that he can figure out the best route to handle Dominion.
I mean, and a great mic drop at the end is like, we want to stop this. We got to kill Moira when she's a fucking kid.
Yeah, that's like
and
the
just
ultimate like break in case of emergency.
that'll undo it all.
Yeah,
Which means Krakoa will never have existed.
which would be
Which is
wild.
yeah,
If it ends that way. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I really can't see it not ending that way at this point, especially with like how there's really no one that can compete with Dominion. Like the only one I could possibly think of was Legion, but like he's like with Nightcrawler right now, kind of just fucking off. So
yeah.
yeah, you don't really know.
But yeah, I'm very Rise is going to be very promising. I think going forward. Okay, Lucas, what's your next pick?
My next pick is the Deviant number 3. James Tynion the Fourth, yet again, writing another story that I actually quite enjoy. This is a murder mystery, basically, with this one character named the Deviant Killer, who basically in 1972, a gay man was blamed for being a serial killer. He was dressed up in a bloodstained Santa Claus costume and killed a bunch of young men. And now this writer, this new writer within the story, is basically trying to uncover the truth and try to figure out who actually killed the person, these people, because he has been proclaiming his truth for a long time, stating that they only chose me because I was a gay man back in the 70s, and they wanted a scapegoat. So yeah, no, I'm definitely very interested to see what is happening with the story, because it's a very interesting take on homosexuality and how back in the 70s and 60s it was viewed as um, a discrepancy that basically could lead to quote unquote violent acts. You were known as a deviant, basically. So it's a very interesting, very subtle story that touches on all this very well.
Very nice.
Yeah, definitely not for the faint of heart, though. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty gory and pretty rough sometimes.
Word.
What's next up for you?
Next up for me is, of course, Batman Superman World's Finest number 23. We are going to get ourselves some answers as to why Magog is pretending not to know Superman and Batman. Last issue, he revealed to Gog that he feels guilty imprisoning them and not letting them partake in this seemingly like a ritual, I would say, that they're going to perform. But yeah, Gog just made David Magog. But yeah, this arc has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the prison sequence a lot. You got Metron in there explaining a little backstory, and you got to see all these villains drawn by the amazing Dan Mora. So yeah, this arc has been sick.
Yeah, no. We still got to see how Magog gets his scar, which I think is probably going to come from this fight. To be honest, his scar on his eye, which is like a major prominent feature of him. But yeah, no. Mark Waid has been tying this into Kingdom Come. I like that the older versions finally realized that they were not evil, that they were actually being strung along. My only question is like, why is everyone so subservient to Gog in the first place? Like it feels like they didn't really answer that well.
I think based on what he like is promising David, like power. I think people are just, he promised people power. I think that's what it is. But yeah, basically Metron revealed that they're going to be, Gog's whole plan is actually just to send these people to Apocalypse to die. So he wants to basically wipe out these heroes. I'm very curious to see how this arc is going to end, because it has to lead right into where Kingdom Come, starts, which is going to be interesting because right now they're trying to do a lot and they're introducing a lot of new concepts to this universe. So
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how it's going to wrap up.
No, definitely. And also, like, I'm pretty sure this is the second to last issue before we end this arc.
Word. What's next up for you?
Next up for me is what's the furthest place from here? Last issue was a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. We got so much explanation about where the adults are in this series, where what happened to humanity, what happened to all these people. We finally got an explanation to the birth of one of the main characters. Sid finally gave birth to her kid, and finally reunited with her family. And yeah, no, it was so good. It was so well written. We basically got to understand the universe for the first time, really. We got an explanation for a lot of stuff that we have been kind of hoping for it for a while. So I mean, I'm very, very happy with this.
Very nice.
What's your final pick, Elias?
My final pick for this week is going to be Invincible Iron Man number 14. Truly one of the more consistent Marvel books right now, I do want to say. This has been doing a lot of heavy lifting for Fall of X, as you all know. But yeah, this is the countdown to Tony's new armor. So we're going to be seeing it very soon.
What does it look like? Do we know yet?
They did show it in previews, but if you don't want to spoil yourself,
I
would
kind of just
avoid.
looked at it. It looks
Okay.
sick. As soon as you said that, I was like already looking at the page.
Bruh.
It's really cool. I like that, actually. I think that's it gives me a lot of like Ultimate Iron Man design like vibes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Riri and Forge just met up in space. And Forge has been a lot of fun in recent X stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for this issue, and this has been, propelling the Fall of X stuff forward very well, and I think it will continue to give us a lot of good mutant stories. So Jerry Duggan doing very well on this.
Yeah, no, definitely very excited. Ironheart better get her shit together, because if she's gonna have the 10 Mandarin ring, she better be doing shit with that. Don't be slacking off. Help us with the Orcus fight.
Yeah. All right, Lucas, what is your final pick for this week?
So my final pick for this week is John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America. I am very excited to see more Hellblazer. I've been reading the old Hellblazer series. I'm around issue 40, but really did enjoy the classic run so far. But this is Simon Spurrier and Aaron Campbell. And Aaron Campbell's art for Hellblazer is a godsend, I'm sure. From this cover alone, you can tell, oh yeah, we're in for a nice ride. Swamp Thing, what looks like, I think that's Morpheus. I can't tell exactly though. But yeah, no. Zombified John Constantine is crazy. But yeah, Simon Spurrier is one of those niche writers that I think is very good in very certain scenarios, and this is one of them where it's magic system. I think he's amazing when it comes to writing within a magic or fantasy section of any book or comic universe. So this for him is his bread and butter, and an Aaron Campbell is going to go nuts, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped, to say the least.
So do you know how this is going to tie into the Sandman universe? Because I was surprised to see that banner across this.
So far in the Sandman universe, basically what happened is the story arc with Nightmare Country finally ended. We kind of got a resolution to that. So this is, my guess is this is continuing that storyline. Now that Morpheus kind of steps in, he's kind of decided like, okay, this is enough. Like, I need to intervene myself. So my guess is that this is Morpheus kind of getting in the midst of everything. And if I had to take a guess, since it is rotting people and is dead in America, I'm guessing it has something to do with Morpheus' sister, Death. But yeah, Dream himself apparently needs John's help because he is trying to find out who the Smiling Man is. These nightmares are spawning out of random places that Morpheus never created them from, basically. So he's trying to figure out the cause for these random nightmares beginning to exist. So very, very exciting, though.
Yeah, I'm always really happy to see Constantine and Swamp Thing on a page. So with Aaron Campbell on the art, I know it's gonna be fantastic. So can't wait for this series.
Yeah, no, very hyped.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's weekly polls. We want to thank Comic Universe once again for sponsoring us today. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff I said before. Don't forget to support your local comic shop and read comics. See you guys.
See you guys.